morning, Slackline. So Vlogmas is now over and it's now time to get back into normal vlogging. So today I thought I'd bring you along with you because it's the last day of 2018. So I'm going to take you along with us today. We're just going to go and do some shopping and we're just going to chill. But I'll try and get like some snippets throughout the day for you. Nothing much is really happening today, but I just thought I'd vlog anyway. Today is also my niece's 25th birthday, so happy birthday, Nikki. And yeah, not really to report. Girls are just eating their lunch. I'm almost ready, just gotta go and get changed. Well, get changed out of pyjamas. I've been pottering around doing some stuff this morning, and then we will be heading off to Tesco in a little bit. So I shall see you in a little bit.
Hi. Hi everyone. Hi. How you doing? I'm fine. I'm gonna be alright. Okay. So we're in school. There's Willow. Hello. Okay. Up there. Ooh, camera. Can you see me? Anyway, what you guys doing? I just want to say, well, it's New Year's Eve today. And we are getting stuff ready for New Year 2019. So excited! Anyway, keys do I'm gonna do. But one more thing. Happy New Year! Yeah, yeah!
Hey guys, so it's now coming to the end of 2018 and I thought I would have a little chat with you. I've got some things like stuck up here in front of me, so I know what I'm talking about. I know what I need to say. Because there's a couple of things I want to like run through, like what happened during the year, because I only really started vlogging sort of like towards the back end of the year. So we'll start sort of right at the beginning of the year and then we'll work our way forward to the present time now. Just a couple of things that I want to touch base with you about, like sort of not major things, but a little more things than like just going shopping and stuff like that. So at the start of the year, Faith went undergo a transit marker study. Now what this is they give you 3 little capsules, and inside the capsules there is 10 shapes. So Faith had squares, rectangles and circles with holes missing, so they look like those polo mints. So she had 3 of them, and over the space of 3 days she had to swallow them. And what they were going to do after she had swallowed the last lot, a couple of days after that, she was going to go for an x-ray at Royal Manchester Children's Hospital, because that is where the gastroenterologist was based. So yeah, so she was under the gastroenterologist, so this is the first thing that she was having done. and the results of that showed that she had a very slow transit, so from mouth to bottom. So she then had the x-rays, but then she had to go for a couple of x-rays to see where they're up to after a certain amount of time. So she had that done. Then after that, Willow had her very first sleep deprived EEG. So she had that done. The results of that showed that there was no activity when she was asleep, because she fell asleep only for about 20 minutes in the clinic. So that happened. Then Faith got admitted into the children's hospital to have a clear out. So she was in there for about 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days, and she had to have a cocktail of Seneca and Picolax to basically flush a whole system out. And I think it was about a month after she started the transit marker study. After about 3, 4, maybe 5 days, all the shapes should have come out, but 4 weeks on, she still had a couple of shapes left inside her system. So when she had the flush out, they then came out. So they then came out, and after they came out, it was clear that she had a massive clear out, basically. So she was on like the cocktails for a couple of days while she was having a clear out, and then when she came home from hospital, she then still had to be on stuff to help her keep going, basically. So she didn't get bunged up again, but that was not nice. That in the time in January, I started to have problems with my gallbladder. I started to get gallbladder attacks. So come May, I got rushed into hospital by ambulance because I was in so much pain and I did not feel well. So they did some tests, they did a scan, did an x-ray, and it turned out that I had loads and loads and loads of little tiny gallstones. So they kept getting pushed into my bile duct, and that's why I was in so much pain. So that was right at the beginning of May. Then come the middle of May, I got my gallbladder removed because it was quite an urgent procedure, but during the operation it didn't go to plan. So my recovery was a lot longer, and I had to stay in hospital for a couple of days. I won't go into detail because that is a bit too gory, but I had to have a draining for a couple of days because of it. So Willow, a little while after that, Willow then got weaned off one of her medications. She did take 2 medications. She took Topiramate, which she's been on for years, and she also took zanisamide, and she'd been on that for about just over a year, I want to say. But she was then getting weaned off the zanisamide. She tried 2 new medications a little while after that. I'll sort of skip a little bit. So she tried a couple of new medications after that, but they were very, very short-lived. She only took them for about a week each, or just less than a week each, because they didn't agree with it at all, and there was no seizure control from them. Then after that, after she started being weaned off it, we then went to Chester Zoo. I have never been before, so it was a first for me. I think Daniel has been before. I've never been before. So that was absolutely amazing because I got to see a little small baby elephant, which I was so happy about. And we went into the bat house, came out laughing our heads off because the people right behind us got weed on by the bats. Not exactly funny, because you won't exactly want to get weed on by them, but that was funny. Yeah, June, we then got our new mobility car that we have now. This year has been a really bad year for me and my headaches. So due to that, I have gone into having tests done. So I've had an MRI done up to now. I had that done in, I think it was beginning of November. So again, I'm sort of skipping ahead, but I'm giving you the details now. So I had an MRI done. So I'm just waiting to have the results from that. I'm not sure when I'll be getting the results. That's what they say, no news is good news. So, fingers crossed. I can't cross my fingers, but there we go, fingers crossed. July, I visited London by myself. Went to go and stay with my best friend Amanda and her husband Otter. I was going to London Comic Con and I had the privilege of meeting Meatloaf, which I was so happy about, and that was like right at the top of my bucket list. I mean, the one right at the top of my bucket list was meeting Michael Jackson, but of course I would never be able to meet him now. So then the one that took over was meeting Meatloaf, because he has been my idol and my dream since I've been yay high. I've loved Meatloaf all my life. My mum and dad sort of wasn't really into that music, but they had a couple of tracks that was of him, and I listened to it and I fell in love with him. Plus, he was an absolute handsome man when he was younger, and he's still good looking now. He's not lost his looks. Yeah, so earlier on that year I had a MRI on my spine as well, because I've had so many problems with my back since I was 14. So you're talking 14, 16, 17, maybe about 18 years I've had like back pain. At one point the doctors thought it was just because I was overweight, but it wasn't due to that. When I was younger as well, I fell off the back of my bike that my brother was riding. Fell off it and I smacked my back right on like this curb, because right near my mum's is like a row of shops, and there's a car park there right in front of it. And they finally sorted it out now, but back then, for God knows how long, as long as I can remember, there was a curb, and then you had the curb there, and then there was like the big hole there, like a big pothole that was right next to the curb. And my brother went down into the pothole and then over the curb, so it properly like bounced. And because I was sat on the back, I didn't have a good grip on my brother, I fell off. And because the curb was quite raised as well, my spine, like that was a curb, my spine just went smack straight on it. So since then, I had like problems. Like if I was walking around and I sort of turned a funny way, or I got off a chair, it would like really hurt and it would sort of take my breath a bit. Then after a little while it sort of eased, and I think I must have just managed to deal with the pain. But over the years, like since I've had the girls, it's been getting worse and worse and worse. So they finally did the MRI. I would say a long story short, but it wasn't exactly a short story. They found out that I have a slight disc displacement and also arthritis in the bottom part of my spine, which connects to like your hip bone at the back. So yeah, so that happened. So yeah, so disc displacement and arthritis in the bottom of my spine, which is why I'm getting so much pain, which is understandable. And then I think it was around about September, October time, might have been September, I then started to buy the fabrics for my dress for mine and Daniel's vow renewal next year. So I went with my nephew to go to the fabric shop, because he uses that fabric shop. So yeah, so we went there and started getting all the fabric. Not all of it, but started like, got a little bit of it. Then I started appointments at a chest clinic. Last year, my health is not good. In my 20s I was fine, in my 30s, no. So last year I had a really nasty chest infection that wouldn't shift, and I had about 6 lots of antibiotics. So after having so many antibiotics, my chest just still wasn't right. So when I was away on holiday, I was still coughing my guts up because my chest wasn't right. Like last year this was. And then come to a year later, my chest still wasn't right. Didn't have any more antibiotics. Oh no, sorry, tell a lie. I did one more lot of antibiotics off the doctor, and he said this was a super tablet, and if this doesn't shift it, then he doesn't know what will. Had that, still nothing. Wasn't given any inhalers back then or anything like that, and then it just still wasn't right. So then I got referred to the chest clinic. I only got referred earlier this year. I think it was something like the referral should have gone in, but it didn't, so they had to do another referral, which comes through quite quickly. So I then saw the it's more like a general, he's not a general surgeon, but he's like, he does general stuff basically, so he knows everything about the body and not just one specific thing. So the appointment started there. I'll sort of go into a little bit more because a couple more things happened. Yeah, so I've gone over that one about Willow trying the tablets, and they didn't last that long. In September, myself and Faith went to York by ourselves. We went to go and see our friend, and we had a little roam around York. We went to the National Rail Museum, and that was a great day out. Absolutely loved it. So I need to do that again when both the girls go. I think both the girls will love it being together. As you would have seen, because there was a vlog about that. Then yeah, so another thing with the chest clinic is after I had my first appointment, I then went back and I had it's called a 6-minute walk test. So long corridor, you've then got 2 cone things that you have to walk around. You have to do a circle around them. And then you're carrying this pack on your arm that's connected to your finger, and then you have one attached to your ear as well, because it checks your blood pressure and also your oxygen levels. So each time you do one lap, you then have to stop and show them the monitor, or what it says on the monitor, so they write them down, because that's the results that they're getting. Then just before you start it, you then have to look at this chart and say how your breathing is. If it's bad, like you're trying to catch your breath, you're wheezing, or if it's quite good, it's nice and calm. So I did that, did the walk test, and then at the end of it you have to go through it again, how your breathing is. So I did that, then I got the results from it, and it showed that my oxygen levels dropped to 95 and 96, and anything below 96 they don't like. So yeah, and that's a point. Sorry, let me just jump back 1 second. So when I had my gallbladder taken out when I was in recovery, my oxygen levels were very, very low 90s. So when they come around doing my oxygen levels, basically your obs, they come around and do, they told me to keep taking deep breaths because my oxygen levels were so low, which would explain why I was so lightheaded. So when I got the test results, yeah, they said that my blood pressure was very low and my oxygen levels were low as well. So we then talked about medication, and they were saying it might be a good idea for me to come off the propranolol, which I was saying for my headaches, because apparently that can have effects on your breathing. So basically done that. I've come off the propranolol now, and I can't feel any different. I don't feel any different, sorry. I can't feel any difference than what it was before I was on it and while I was on it, because I was on it for quite some time for the headaches. Because I've had these now for quite a few years. So now I've just got to wait to go back and... Sorry, no. I need to have a CT scan done first on my chest. I suppose I've had it done, I think it's about just over a week ago, just before Christmas. Yeah, it was a Sunday before Christmas Day. I had to have it done 23rd, but I had a really, really big panic attack, so I couldn't do it. So they're going to arrange for me to go back and have it done one day during the week, which will be better. In November, Daniel went to Kalmar, which is a convention just for Stargate, and he absolutely loved it. So he stayed there. He sort of went there early Saturday, and then he didn't get back till later on Sunday. So we just had one night there. And then after that, my best friend, who I stayed with in London, graduated from university, and you would have seen the vlog that I did. We had a really, really big party for her, and it was an amazing time. So yeah, so that was pretty much my year in a nutshell of what's happened. There have been like a couple of other bits, but it's going to be too long of a video to include even more into what I've been talking about now. This is sort of a condensed. I know it's going on for quite a long time. It's now like 19 minutes and 18 seconds. So I wanted to try and sort of condense it a bit for you, so it's not going to be too much of a long video, and I didn't really want to blab and sort of like ramble, which I do. Not blab, sorry, ramble. I sort of ramble when I get a bit nervous as well. So that was my year. It's been a little bit better a year than previous years, but it's not been one of the better years. So we've got a sort of a long year ahead of us again, with more tests for Willow, which I spoke about in the vlog where we went to go and see the head neurologist, sorry. Yeah, when we went to go and see the head neurologist, they talked about having tests done. She's already got one appointment through, which is her sleep deprived EEG again. So, but this time it's going to be a little different, because this time it's going to be at Royal Manchester Children's Hospital. But anyway, that's next year. That starts tomorrow. So as obviously the year's going on, and this channel is based around the two girls with autism and Willow with also having epilepsy, I will keep you guys updated of what's going on with that. Because I want a bit more awareness raised for 1, autism, and 2, epilepsy. So now that more and more appointments are coming through, I can now talk to you a bit more about like how things are going and the situation with Willow and where we're at and all that lot, basically. So I will say goodbye now, guys. I did a little bit of vlogging this morning, as you would have seen. Faith did a little bit of vlogging in Tesco. I couldn't really vlog in Tesco because it was very, very busy. Obviously, everyone getting ready for tonight and that lot. So I shall go now, guys, and I shall wish you a happy new year, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, please stay safe. And I shall see you guys in 2019. Bye, guys.